give you, and we are truly grateful because both of them are very busy experts, and we are very grateful to them for having taken out time to be with us today and to conduct this session for us. So, to introduce them to you, Dr. Prasanna K. David. So, as you can see on the screen, Dr. David is a corporate communications expert with over 42 years of rich academic experience across leading universities in Eastern India. He has been the executive registrar also at the Sri Sri University. He has been associated with us as a communications faculty for students across disciplines ranging from engineering to computer applications, the management students. And his feedback has been terrific from all student groups. Dr. David is also a renowned motivational speaker, and he has delivered numerous talks for corporate houses like the ones that are listed. These are just a few. The number is, I mean, there are many, many more also which are not listed here. And of course, his prime occupation as on date, we understand, is as a very senior functionary of the art of living. He's a very senior faculty and also the director of government executive programs in Jharkhand in this domain. And he's conducted, I mean, it goes without saying, I mean, obviously being a very senior faculty of the art of living, he has conducted numerous art of living courses for corporates, industry professionals, defense personnel, and as well as for bureaucrats of various government departments. So we are really very grateful to you, sir, for giving time to us to conduct this session. Now, Dr. Jutika Banerjee, David, it is really a pleasure for me to introduce her once again amongst us. I'm saying once again, why? Because she's been with us for a very long time. She was a faculty member in our department, and she taught technical English and business communication and all other communication courses to students, once again, PG, UG students from across disciplines. And so Dr. David is a communication expert with over 30 years of rich academic experience with premier institutions. She's also been on the board of studies for various universities. She also is a very senior faculty of the art of living and is a member for the government Council for Government Executive Programs in Jharkhand. She's a leadership coach and has conducted numerous art of living courses, like Professor David has, to various target groups, including corporates and defense personnel, bureaucrats, etc. So we welcome you amongst us once again, madam, and look forward to hearing you again today. So with this, without wasting any more time, let us hand over the session to Professor David and madam. Please.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Dr.
Shraddha Shivani.
It has been always a pleasure, interacting on such occasions with people like you all. And I've heard that people have come with a management background. So management itself means organizing resources for better achievement of some objective. Here in Art of Living, because we are associated with Art of Living, we also, guide people to utilize our resources in such a manner so that we can maximize our production. So in doing that, we involve all the faculties in our personality. See, for example, man is a combination of both matter and spirit. So when we say matter, that means we are talking about the body. And when we say spirit, that means the spiritual aspect of a human being. So we work on both the aspects. And we have found that it has been very successful throughout. In 156 countries, we are doing this. So in order to come to the point right away, let us start with an exercise. Before we begin, let us start with the pranayam. We call it pranayam. Pranayam means prana. Prana means the subtle force, the subtle energy that we have. And yama means direction, giving that subtle force energy a certain direction. So the first pranayam that we will do today is, we call it alternate breathing or Nadi Shodhan. So let us do it. I'll just show you how we do it. We'll do it 4-5 times, and then we will adjust ourselves. So you'll feel comfortable, and then we can talk and do the other yogas and meditation, whatever we have in our package today for you. So first we put our middle finger and the forefinger on the forehead between the two eyebrows, and then the ring finger and the little finger on the left nostril and the thumb on the right nostrils. Now, if you close your nose, you will not be able to breathe. So please keep the thumb open, keep the thumb away from the nostril. Take a long, you take your left palm in Chinmay Mudra. Chinmay Mudra means you put the forefinger and the thumb, join them, straighten all the rest three fingers, and put the palm on your thigh or on your knee or on your lap. And then take the position, sit up straight. Your backbone should be straight and shoulders should be loose, not tight. And take a long deep breath in through the right nostril. Hold, close the nostril with your thumb. Let the middle finger, the ring finger and the little finger away from the left nostril. Open the left nostril. Blow out. Breathe in through the left nostril. Close the left nostril. Breathe out from the right nostril. And repeat this 4 or 5 times. Do it slowly. Take your time. When you have finished, you put your palm on your thighs and sit up straight. Now, why I made you do this is this pranayam, actually you must be feeling like that. This pranayam makes your mind calm. Don't you feel like that? You will observe your mind has calmed down. And it also balances the energy level in your body. Then you are in the right mood to listen to what we are going to instruct. Because for listening also, you need to focus. Now, when we talk about, and I use the term energy. Energy is a very vital term. Why? Because today we encounter stress when we are working, when we are at home, when we are watching some play going on, when India is playing with Pakistan and when we are losing. So you are under stress. There are moments when you are subjected to this constant stress. So the body is tuned for certain level of stress. But when it goes beyond that, then it starts affecting our system. Another problem with stress is that when you have to do some work and you have got a deadline and you are not able to do it, people often define stress as less time and more work. When you have less time and when you are given more work, then it causes stress. Time is constant. And then more work, that means what happens is actually, the reality is you do not have enough energy to complete that work in that time. So we basically have to improve as far as our energy level is concerned. So where does this energy come from? What are the sources of energy? We talk about food. The first source would obviously come to your mind is food. So food means that whatever we eat, whatever we drink, that is under food. But then we got to be a little careful with food, what type of food we are taking. See, in our Indian tradition, we have got tamasic food, rajasic food, and sattvic food. Of course, you might be aware of what I am saying. So we focus more on sattvic food when we are doing a lot of desk work, mental work. We stress more on sattvic food. If you are taking tamasic or rajasic food, then of course your quantity of those items should be, improvised accordingly. So food, and when we take food, there are two things to be remembered: what type of food we are taking and how much food we are taking. If you are taking less food, it causes, a problem with your energy system. You do not have enough energy. If you have more than what your body should take, again you feel lethargic. So you got to be careful with the intake of the amount of food. Now the second source of energy that we have is when we are tired. What happens? We go off to sleep. When we sleep, when we get up in the morning, we find ourselves rejuvenated. So what difference does sleep make? The difference that sleep makes is that it rejuvenates our energy level. It brings back the energy level. That means for maintaining our energy level, we have to have rest, and rest is essential. So sleep is important. And of late, I found that the latest research that they have conducted at an American university. So they say that between 4.5 and 6.5 hours of sleep is optimum. It varies. If you have more sleep than that, then it will affect your energy. You will feel lethargic. Lesser than 4.5 hours is also causing problem. So you got to have enough of sleep. So rest. Third is the source of energy is without food you can stay for 10 days, 5 days, 10 days, 15 days. There was a Jain Muni who survived for 30 days, but that depends on practice. But how did he survive? On what source of energy? That was the breath. So breath is another source of energy. And we got to be careful with breath, how we are taking our breath. So in Art of Living courses that we have, we teach you how to breathe properly. And there are types of breathing techniques that we teach there. So breath, we got to be careful with the intake of breath. And then the last and very important source of energy is, you will find that when you are irritated, when you are angry, when you are emotionally disturbed, when you are mentally disturbed, then you do not feel like working. That means your energy level has gone down again. That means you need to calm down. So calmness of mind, when you have a meditative mind, when you have a calm mind, then you will feel that your energy level is good enough for you to, to go ahead with your work with enthusiasm. So right now, there are, of course, there are various ways of bringing back energy. We can start with the slides now.
seen, which was conducted in Yale University.
No, this slide. Stress. Is it on the screen? No, not yet.
Not on this.
Yeah.
Should I share it from there?
Yeah, please share the screen. Oh, it was there now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, look at this. Identify your stress. We're talking about stress. Do you explain away stress as temporary, even though you can't remember the last time you took a breather? Do you think that it is temporary, it comes and goes, then it is okay? Or do you define stress as an integral part of your work or home life or as part of your personality? Or do you blame your stress on other people or events or view it as entirely normal and unexceptional? You have to identify that first. Then, what happens? What is the effect of stress on our system, on our cell? Increased heat rate and blood pressure. So one of the results of stress is blood pressure. Then the other result is impact of stress hormones on immune processes. Corticosteroid suppresses immune system. So our immunity is affected. Your stress reduces our immune system. So we got to get rid of stress. And disturbance of the digestive system, obviously, yes. Many a time when you go to the doctor, if you have a problem with the digestive system, the doctors will say you are very stressed. So they will give you tablets with distresses. So, and then we have a clip from the students when they underwent the course of Art of Living and what is their experience. You will hear for yourself.
We know that college-age
okay,
students have a greater prevalence of mental health issues than any other age.
Yes, sir, perfectly all right.
We also know that 60% of students report that they have felt overwhelming anxiety, and over 40% of students have reported feeling so depressed that they were unable to function.
I seriously feel that a lot of students here don't have healthy coping mechanisms to deal with stress, and then we just kind of like shove it under the rug.
The strategies that I use to manage the pressure points at Yale have varied. Usually I kind of don't manage them, but in general, like last semester, if I was overwhelmed by something, I would just kind of shut down.
We see students come in with so much burnout and stress and a very distracted mind, and that makes academics hard and social life even harder.
Instead of sitting down and doing what I needed to do, whether that be work or sports or going to the gym, I would find myself sort of moping around my room a little bit, becoming extremely distracted with social media.
Stress in my life was like, I would kind of have meltdowns not before a race or a big test because I wouldn't know how to handle it that well.
So that's why we launched this randomized controlled trial with around 200 Yale students. So what we did was have the students go through this 8-week intervention, and right before and right after those 8 weeks, we collected data on their psychological well-being, on measures of stress, anxiety, depression, burnout, life satisfaction, self-compassion, all of the different facets of well-being.
We decided to evaluate 3 different empirically validated well-being interventions side by side compared to a control group.
an emotional intelligence program, did mindfulness-based stress reduction, and finally we selected the Sky Campus Happiness Program.
So Sky, the Campus Happiness Program, is a comprehensive wellness program that addresses wellness and happiness from many angles, incorporating breath work, yoga, and deep meditation, as well as leadership and service learning, and also positive psychology. The core of the Sky Happiness Program is Sky meditation.
Quite honestly, I was pretty skeptical going into it.
I've never really done breathing exercises. I didn't know that was a thing that you did with meditation. I just assumed meditation was kind of like sitting in a dark room and like trying not to think about anything.
I never really bought into meditation or yoga as a way to improve my well-being.
And then my thoughts about meditation and mindfulness started to change a little bit until we actually got to the Sky Meditation Retreat. I cannot believe, still to this day, how deep of a meditation I fell into.
But I didn't know how much of it was like your physiology, like how you control like the things inside of you, like with breathing, which I had no idea that you could even do that.
Sky meditation immediately starts releasing stress from the nervous system and has a deep physiological effect.
I felt alive, I felt energized, I felt awake. I remember waking up after that Sky meditation session. I cannot remember a day I was more productive.
Well, when I do the practice, I feel rejuvenated. My head is clear. I know what I have to do that day, and then it feels really good, like I'm full of energy.
Being equipped with the knowledge that I've gained from this class, like the different breathing techniques, has really helped me to de-stress and re-equilibrate myself. Like it's a dome around me. The stresses would come, but they would just bounce off the dome and they aren't as impactful, like they don't get to me.
I think I like come out of the breathing and the meditation as a happier, like more balanced person, which is something I did not expect at all. I'm just having a much better semester and I feel so much happier and like so much more stable. Like I come back to my suite and my roommates are like, why are you so calm right now? And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, guys, I don't know, I'm just enjoying life.
So I find that students end up practicing often daily because the practice feels so good. Their mental health and well-being feels so boosted.
I wake up and do my Sky meditation routine, and it's really not a difficult program at all. I wake up and I'm ready to go for the day.
Rather than wait until students have mental health issues and then addressing that with therapy, medication, etc., why don't we teach students tools to take care of their well-being ahead of time? Why don't we take a preventative approach?
What would it mean if students everywhere were equipped with these techniques and tools so that they can not only do well in school, but also learn to thrive in life?
So we just saw the response of the students from Yale University, and they had undergone this Sky meditation that we do in Art of Living. Now, we will just see the effect of stress on the body. What do we have? Headaches and taut muscles, muscular twitches. Then on the mind, you have worrying, muddled thinking, you're confused, nightmares, negativity, hasty decisions. Then on the emotions, loss of confidence. Yeah, it affects our confidence. And people get to depression, and they find themselves alienated. And then, of course, your behavior also changes. So these are the effects of stress on our whole system. How do we eliminate stress? You can stop stress. How do we do it? There are many ways of handling it. We must understand that when there is sadness, there is joy, because the main sutra that we call it is opposite values are complementary. There is night, there is day. So when you are depressed, when you're sad, just remember good things are in store for you. The darkest moment, the darkest night is nearest the dawn. Remember that. Then accepting the people as they are. So you come across people whom you do not like for various reasons. Might be that you do not like a person because he has got a big nose. Might be that you find him always irritated. Might be that the moment he sees you, he starts shouting at you. It might be his behavior like that. So you have to accept him as he is. And then you will be comfortable. You will not be stressed. Do not be the football of others' opinion. Yes, of course, do your how you think you do, but then of course you should listen to what other people say, but don't be, influenced such as you become a football. Do not see intention behind others' mistakes. Often people commit mistakes and you start looking at the intentions. There might be, it's not a mistake. When you do a mistake, you say, oh, it just happened. So you forget and you forgive. But when others commit a mistake, you start finding a mistake, intention. That means you are creating a stress for yourself. So avoid this. Present moment is inevitable. So any untoward thing happens, the best thing is to understand that the present moment is inevitable. Don't react, act. There are certain temporary ways of reducing stress. Many people start smoking in order to de-stress themselves. They start drinking, but this is all temporary. Overeating, some people start eating. Zoning out for hours in front of the TV. Withdrawing from friends. Using pills or drugs to relax. Sleeping too much. Procrastinating. Taking out the stress on others, you start shouting at others. So you start balancing your own stress on others. So let us look for permanent solutions. Now we come to the permanent solutions. When we are talking about art of living, we come to the point. These were all temporary. Let us come to the permanent solutions. So the permanent solution is yoga, or what we call yoga. And for your kind information, the World Health Organization also describes yoga as a valuable tool, one that increases physical activity, mental well-being, and decreases non-communicable diseases. That is what WHO says. And according to the Yoga Sutras, the Maharishi Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, he boldly declares, he proclaims that the purpose of yoga is to eradicate the misery that is yet to come. Heyam dukham anagatam. That means yoga helps you to keep away diseases. Now there are different schools of yoga. You can practice for 10, 15, 20 minutes every day. You can choose some of the Hatha yoga that is usually practiced in the West nowadays. Most of the universities they are doing. In India, of course, after the 21st June Yoga Day, we started celebrating. People have introduced yoga into the institutions, the schools and colleges, of course. And various corporate houses, they have now adopted yoga constantly. They're practicing, you're adopting this. So for you people, especially people who are spending most of the time at the desk, we have some asanas, some yoga sessions that we will show you, demonstrate to you. I will just show you how we do it. And It is known as desk yoga. So I would request ma'am to just, give a commentary or as
Yeah.
yeah.
The
please.
first posture. To the first posture.
Yeah.
Keep the spine erect
The left hand.
and the head straight. Breathing in, raise the right arm. Place the palm on top of the head. Gently massage the top of the head in a circular motion in a clockwise direction. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Feel the tension in your head region easing. Feel more relaxed. Now the second posture. Keep the spine erect and the head straight. Place the fingertips at the temples. Gently make circular motions in a clockwise direction. Repeat in the anti-clockwise direction. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Feel the tension in your head region easing. Now we go on to the third posture. Hope everybody is doing it. Keep the spine erect and the head straight. Raise both the hands and bring the palms in front of the forehead. Make loose fists. Gently knock the forehead with the knuckles. Feel a gentle stimulation around your forehead. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Now the fourth posture. Keep the spine erect and the head straight. Breathing in, raise both your hands and take your fingers to the inner end of the eyebrows. It's a very, very useful yoga exercise. Place the index finger above and the thumb below each eyebrow. Applying a gentle pressure, move the fingers outward along the eyebrows. Gently straighten the eyebrows. Repeat the action. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Feel the muscles of your eyebrows and forehead relaxing. Stress tends to accumulate around the sinuses. Feel the relaxation around the eyes.
Yeah.
Now the fifth posture. eyes. Keep the spine erect and the head straight as usual. Now take a few deep breaths and relax the body. Shut your eyes as tightly as possible. Hold the posture for a couple of seconds. Open your eyes as wide as possible. Hold the posture for a couple of seconds. Repeat the action a few more times. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Feel the tension easing around, the eyes being released. Feel the stimulation in your nerves and energy around your eyes. Now, the sixth process. Bring both the palms together. Rub them against each other vigorously to generate as much heat as possible. Stop rubbing the palms and gently place them over the eyelids. Hold the posture, allowing the heat to be completely absorbed by the eyes. Keep the eyes closed. Bring the hands down. This should be repeated at least 3 times. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the process. Feel your vision becoming clearer and your eyes relaxing. Now, the 7th yoga process. Keep the spine erect and head straight. Close your eyes. Place the index finger below each eye. Massage the area under the eyes with gently pressing by moving the fingers outward. Repeat the action a few more times. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Feel the accumulated stress being relieved. With regular practice and over a period of time, see your dark circles reduce. Very, very useful. Now, the 8th posture. Keep the spine erect and head straight as usual. Close your eyes. Place the index finger between the bridge of the nose and the eyes. Bridge of the nose and the eyes. Applying a gentle pressure, slide the fingers down the side of the nostrils. Slide the fingers down the side of the nostrils. Repeat the action a few more times. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Now, the 9th facial exercise. Keep the spine erect and head straight as usual. Place the tips of your 3 fingers on the cheekbones. Tips of your 3 fingers on the cheekbones. Look for muscles that make knots. Keep the mouth relaxed. Press firmly and massage the knots in a circular motion. Pressing down firmly, run the fingers down along the jaw line towards the chin. Repeat the action a few more times. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the process. Now the 10th facial exercise. Very, very effective. Protrude your tongue to the extreme left. Extreme left. Look to the right simultaneously. Tongue to the extreme left, and you have to look to the right simultaneously. Repeat the action on the other side. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. This releases the nervous energy blocked in your facial nerves. Now, the 11th exercise. Keep your spine erect, spine, neck, and head erect. Breathing in, raise your chin up and take the head back. Feel the stretch on your throat and the compression in your neck muscles. Breathing out, bring your chin towards the chest. Repeat the action a few more times. Next, keep your spine erect and head spine, neck and head erect. Breathe in. Breathing out, bend the head to the right. Hold the posture. Your left shoulder may raise itself slightly. Relax the shoulder. Breathing in, bring the head to the center. Repeat the action on the left side. Feel the relaxation that the stretch begins. Now we move on to the next. Keep your spine, neck, and head erect. Breathing in, raise your chin up and take the head back. Breathing out, bring the chin down towards the chest. Breathing in, rotate your head from the right. Breathing out, bring your head down from the left. Repeat the action a few more times. Repeat the action a few more times in the other direction. Feel a gentle massage on your throat and neck region. If you feel a slight discomfort in any part, take your attention there and breathe in and out a few times. Throughout the process, keep your attention on the neck region. Now we move on to the next posture. Keep your spine, neck, and head erect. Breathe in. Breathe out. Turn your head to the right and look over your right shoulder. Turn your head to the right and look over the right shoulder. Breathing in, bring your head to the center. Again, breathing out, turn your head to the left and look over your left shoulder. Breathing in, bring your head to the center. Repeat the action a few more times. Feel the stretch all the way to your shoulders. Next posture. Keep your spine erect and head straight. Breathing in, raise your right hand. Place the palm on the right hand on your left ear. Place the palm of the right hand on your left ear. Gently push the head towards the right with the palm. Create a slight resistance with your head. Observe the stretch on the left side of your neck. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. The same thing repeat on the other side with the left hand. Now we move on to the next exercise. Keep your spine erect and head straight. Breathing in, raise your hand. Place your palm at the back of your head. Gently push your head with your palm. Create a slight resistance with your head. Observe the stretch in your neck. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Repeat by placing the palm on the forehead. Now the next exercise, very effective, very effective. Keep your spine, neck and head erect. Breathing in, raise both your arms from the side and keep them parallel to the floor. Raise your palm up. Stretch your fingers wide apart and pull them towards the body. Pull them towards the body. Make sure your elbow is straight. Don't bend your elbows. Elbows should be straight. Allow the movement to come all the way from the shoulders. Continue the action for as long as you can hold. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. As you pull your fingers towards yourself, feel the stretch from the tip of your fingers all the way to the base of your neck. Very, very effective yoga process. Next. This is also very easy but very, very effective. Next, keep your spine and neck and head erect. Breathing in, raise your shoulders to your ears. Hold the posture. Breathing out, slowly drop your shoulders. Repeat the action a few times. Feel the muscles compress in your neck. Feel the muscles being squeezed in your upper back. The last line, very, very important, is feel the energy move up as the spine is being stretched. As the spine is being stretched. Now we move on to the next posture. Sit straight and tall. Keep your spine, neck and head as usual in a straight line. Raise your arms forward, parallel to the floor and in line with your shoulders. I repeat, raise your arms forward, parallel to the floor and in line with your shoulders. Your palms should be facing down. Make fists and rotate clockwise and anti-clockwise, aligning them with your breath. Breathe in as they go up and breathe out as they come down. As you do this, feel the tension in your wrists and forearms being released. Do this exercise at least 5 times clockwise and anti-clockwise. Keep breathing and deeply throughout the exercise. Next, sit straight and tall. Keep your spine, neck and head in a straight line. Raise your arms forward, parallel to the floor and in line with your shoulders. Your palms should be facing down. Make tight fists with your hands, then open your fists. Widen your fingers as much as possible. Make fists again. Do this exercise 10 times at least. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Now we move on to the next. This is also very, very useful yoga process. Sit straight and tall. Keep your spine, neck, and head in a straight line. Raise your arms forward, parallel to the floor, and in line with your shoulders. Your palms should be facing down. Keeping your fingers together while moving both your palms up and down. Widen your fingers and repeat the movement. Move your palms up and down. Keep your attention on your forearms and wrists. During the exercise, stretch your arms as much as possible. Again, do this exercise at least 5 times. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Now we move on to the next posture. Sit straight and tall. Keep your spine, neck, head straight again the same way. Raise your arms forward, parallel to the floor and in line with your shoulders. Fold your forearms with the tip of your fingers touching the shoulders. Hold this position for some time. Throw your arms forward. Take a deep breath in while you're folding the arms, and breathe out forcefully while you are straightening your arms. Repeat 5 times. Next process. Sit straight and tall. Keep your spine, neck, head in a straight line. Bring your right arm to your left side. And the left arm to your right side. Hug yourself tightly in this position. Your right arm is over your left arm. Stay in this position for 15 to 20 seconds. Feel the compression in the chest region and expansion in the back region. Reverse the position and repeat with your left arm over your right arm this time. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply throughout the exercise. Now we move on to the next exercise, very, very effective. Sit straight and tall. Keep your spine, neck, head in a straight line. Take a deep breath in. Lift your arms from the sides and slowly move them up. Interlock your fingers and turn your palms upwards. Stretch your arms as if someone is pulling you from above. Stretch as much as you can. With every inhalation, keep lengthening the spine. Remain in this position for 15 seconds. Breathing out, slowly bring the arms down. The last exercise
for today.
Sit straight and tall. Keep your spine, neck, head in a straight line. Breathing in, lift your arms from the sides and slowly move them up. Clamp your palms together, interlocking all the fingers except the index fingers. I'm repeating it again. Clamp your palms together, interlocking all the fingers except the index finger. The index fingers are pointing towards the sky. Bend to your right side and feel the stretch till the waist. You have to remain in this position at least for 10 to 15 seconds. Breathing out, come back to the center. Repeat the same on the other side. I think this is all for today regarding yoga exercises.
Desk yoga.
Desk, yeah. Right, desk yoga.
Desktop yoga.
Yeah.
So now what we did, see there are other, like we can, for improving the lungs, we can do a yoga like blowing the candles, we say. We can just breathe in and you fill your lungs and then blow strongly, blow out strongly, vigorously, just like you are blowing out candles. Like that. Or you can breathe in strongly, fill your lungs, and then at one go you can just do that. That's good, very good exercise for the lungs. So you have number of yogasanas, as you know, that yoga helps in removing the body, it prevents diseases, and of course it balances, because it balances the mind and the body. It unites. So when we are doing yoga asanas, Hatha yoga asanas, we have to be very careful. We have to do it slowly. The movement should be slow. It should not be in a jerk, so that it affects the part of the body which is supposed to. So if we have a regular yoga sessions for 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, you will find that you will reap all the benefits from there. Energy level will be maintained, your circulation system will work, glandular system. These are all scientific findings. It's not something out of the blue. And of course, it is a traditional technique, but then it is now considered to be very modern. Muscles and ligaments and mind and concentration and all those things are affected. Now the other part of our system, our package is our meditation. So we talk about meditation. What do you understand by meditation? Of course, it's not like in Art of Living, we don't say that we focus or concentrate on anything. It is an art of doing nothing. See, meditation is an art of doing nothing, where you let go. Because there are different rules for the body and for the mind. For the body, you have to put in effort. The more effort you give to the body will function accordingly. With the mind, it is just the opposite. You let go. You cannot force yourself to sleep. If you want to have a sleep, you cannot just force yourself to sleep, because the mind behaves in a very different manner. For example, it says, we say that what you resist persists. It is with the mind. For example, if I ask you, close your eyes and think of everything else, but don't think of a monkey having a banana. Let's see. Close your eyes. Keep on normal breathing. Think of everything else except monkey having a banana. Now gradually open your eyes. What did you find? Obviously, most of the cases you will see that the monkey was there, always coming there, having a banana, because your mind was resisting. So this is the nature of the mind, that what you resist persists. And the other nature of the mind is that it clings to the past, what has happened, and it oscillates between the past and the future. You're annoyed, you're angry with what has happened in the past, and you are anxious, you're worried with what is to happen in future. But incidentally, we are living in the present moment. We are living in the present moment. And if we focus our attention to the breath, we will find that our mind comes to the present moment. So that's a technique of meditation, how to meditate. When you tell students to meditate, they will not know what to do. So just ask them to squat and then just close their eyes and just think of the air entering the nostrils, going in and coming out through the nostrils. If they focus on that, that means the mind is free from the past or the future and comes to the mind, to the present moment. So that is a beautiful technique of bringing the mind to the present moment when you free yourself from stress. So let us, I think we can explain. How many of you have experienced meditation before? If some of you have already done it, let's see if the others who have not done it, we'll all do together. And meditation is now being adopted by all and sundry, because recently we have had sessions of meditation online, pan globe. See, not only pan-India, but all over from the globe internationally. We had doctors, we had people coming from corporate houses, CEOs, and all business houses, and they were all doing it simultaneously throughout the world. And they found that they responded that it is having an immense effect on the mind. So let us have a meditation. I would humbly request Madam David to conduct one meditation session for you. Madam, please.
Yes, over to you.
Okay.
Yes.
Turn it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Now we'll do a very short meditation, but those who have not done meditation earlier will have a taste of it. It's a beautiful process, and you just don't have to do anything, just have to close your eyes, and it's a guided meditation. Like whatever I tell you, you just have to think. Don't put a lot of stress. How will I do this? No, nothing of that sort. You just close your eyes and relax. That's all. You just keep on taking normal breath, breathe in, breathe out, and just listen to what all I'm telling you. Okay? So now let us all close our eyes. Take a long deep breath in and breathe out. Another long deep breath in and breathe out. Listen to the noises where you are sitting. It can be the noise of the fan, or of the traffic, or of the birds chirping, or maybe children playing, making noise. Don't resist. Just keep on listening. Be in harmony with the environment. Take a long, deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of the physical body. It is a beautiful gift from the divine, from the nature. Take your attention to your feet. Slowly take your attention to your legs. Become aware of your genitals. You move upwards to your abdomen. Become aware of your chest region. Then your arms. Neck. Face. And the head region. Your whole body. Honor and respect your body. It's a beautiful gift by the divine. Take a long deep breath in and let go. Become aware of your thoughts. It can be bad thoughts, it can be good thoughts, whatever they may be. Accept them. Do not resist the thoughts, let them come. Now you are in harmony with your thoughts. Become aware of your feelings. Accept them. Take a long deep breath in and breathe out. You are peace. You are joy. Take a long deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your feelings. Take a long deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of the sensations in your body. Now become aware of the environment. Take a long, deep breath in and breathe out. Very slowly and gradually, you may open your eyes.
So I believe you had a nice experience of this beautiful technique known as meditation, and you want to remain in this condition for some time. It's very nice. And nowadays you can access Sri Ravi Shankar's meditations online. If you just type guided meditation, these are all guided meditation. And after that, we have a technique known as Sahaj Samadhi. So when you do that on your own, by yourself, you can just go into deep meditation. So there are steps you can go ahead. But then for us to begin, guided meditation will be of great help. So we should do regular meditations, because it's very beneficial, especially for people who are doing mental work and constantly under duress, under stress. See, so the bombardment of stress is so much on our system that the secretion of enzymes is over more than it is required, and that causes the problem. So if we learn to control our stress or eradicate stress, then of course we keep away from diseases. And if you keep our immunity system high, see, so the immune system of course has to be taken care of. And yoga plays a very important role, meditation plays a very important role, your food plays a very important role, your rest plays a very important role, how much rest you are taking. All these taken, because we have to be alert. It's not enough to be knowledgeable, it is not enough to be an intellectual. I think it is better that you utilize your knowledge and your intellect and become wise. So the wisdom says that you have to make the most of what you can do to save yourself from diseases and keep yourself healthy and smiling. So in Art of Living, we say that you should keep a smiling face, because that is always pleasing. And often when you interact with people, people would abstain, evade from talking to people who are glum-faced. So they feel nice when you interact with a smiling face. So in communication also we talk about this, the facial, the countenance, so how you present yourself, because it helps in making your communication more effective. So all this, of course, for our health benefit. And of course, I would like also to add one more thing here before we stop for your response and your questions, that, you know, our existence is not only on the physical level or on the mental level. See, if we see from a deeper perspective, we find that we are in fact existing on 7 levels. See, the most, as we go up, the more subtle level we come to. See, for example, the more gross level is the body, and the subtlest level is the self that does not change. And the body, of course, changes. See, as we grow old and as age dawns upon our body, our whole appearance changes. But the self is that which does not change. So that is the point of reference. So we say from body to self, we have, see, there are 7 layers. We talk about the body, and we saw that these will help our body keep our perfect. And then we have the next level is the breath. So we talked about breath, how we breathe properly. See, in Art of Living, we teach them how to breathe properly. See, if I ask you to breathe normally now, if I ask you to put your hand on your stomach, sit up straight, put your hand on your stomach, and take a deep, long breath in. And breathe out. Take a long, deep breath in and breathe out, and observe the movement of your hand. When you breathe in and when you breathe out, what happens? See, I am sure that many of you will say that when I was breathing, my hand was moving out. And I'm also sure that some of you will say when I was breathing in, my hand was going inside. But to tell you very frankly, the hand should move out, because when we were breathing in, our lower lobe of our lung was being filled with air, and so it was bloating. So naturally the hand should have moved out. Like a balloon. But it does not mean that you should not get panicky, sir. That means all this during this time of 24 years or 30 years or 27 years or 32 years or whatever, have I been taking wrong breath, breathing wrongly? Don't have to worry, because nature takes its care, and God has created you very well and He takes care. So what happens is when we are sleeping, we start breathing normally. See, so nature has its own way, but then we got to be conscious. See, because our lungs actually is the main organ that functions when we are breathing, and breath is very important. So our lungs is so important that if we take care of our lungs, we will be able to save ourselves from much disturbance, many diseases. Like we say, the doctors, the researchers have found that normally we use only 30% of our lung capacity. Only 30% of our lung capacity. And mind you, if we can enhance it to 45, 50%, you will have no difficulty in keeping the diseases away. Because oxygen plays a very important role in our energy system in the body. So you know about the cell, the mitochondria that we have. It breaks the food into energy and fat. And so oxygen is required in the cell. So optimum amount of oxygen should be there. So, and the lung has actually 3 lobes. The right lung has 3 lobes: the upper lobe, the middle lobe, and the lower lobe. But the left lung has got 2 lobes because of the structure of the body. You have the heart and the other organs, the left side. So we have a definite pranayam that we teach in Art of Living that is known as Kanistha Pranayam. And we place the hands in such a way that when we breathe in, the air that we breathe in through, and that the technique that we adopt is the breathing technique.
Yeah. Talk about Sudarshan Kriya also.
So the breathing technique that we have, we breathe in, we call it Ujjayi Breath, Ujjayi. So Ujjayi Breath, when we breathe in, we direct the air, the breath, to the different portions of the lungs. So we keep our portions, the hands like this, then the second, and the third like this. So when we go like this, like this, like this, so we are directing the air to go to the different lobes in the lungs. So that keeps the system, active. And then we talk about the second level was the breath. Then we talk about the third level is the mind, how we can control the mind. I told you that mind oscillates between the past and the future. And the only technique that we have is our breath. Through breath, we can just bring our mind, arrest the mind in the present moment. We bring it to the present moment. So if we are aware that we are in the present moment, then we will keep the stress and the worries away from the mind. So mind has to be taken care of. And then the fourth level is our intellect that which has the judgment, the intellect, how it works. If our mind is working properly, if our body is working properly, the intellect, of course, works properly when it is calm. The intellect also, when you have to take a decision, your intellect is called for. Then we have our memory. Memory, of course, meditation is of great help. Your yoga is of great help in improving the memory. We tell our students also that you should do regular meditation so that it enhances your memory. And we in India, we used to have our teachers in school pulling our ears, boxing our ears, and that was actually improving the memory. So the lobes of the ears were put like this, and they were asked to, sit up and stand, sit and stand, sit up, do the sit-ups with pulling. That was because that was a punishment in order to make the student learn something. So in olden days, in Gurukuls, we used to find that these gurus would give these sessions to the students who were not able to memorize. Then we have the next level is the ego level. The ego level is, everyone has an ego, but when you are aware that you have an ego, people have ego, of course, everyone has an ego. You have an ego because you are educated. You are egoistic because you belong to a certain institution. You are egoistic because you belong to a country, vast country, a fast developing economy like India. And there's nothing wrong with that. But then, if the ego is bloated, you start having problems with people, then you find difficulty in communication. So you should be aware of ego, that's the level, but you should know, you should have your ego in your pocket, of course. And then the last that I talked about was the self, as I told you. So the last was the self. As I told you, it was the reference point of the self, that which does not change. People say, I have not changed. There is something that is changing in me. I've grown old. I am not the same as I was when I was 10-year-old or 16-year-old. Now I'm not that. how do you say that? Because you are referring to a certain point. So self, all these 7 levels. And what happens in Art of Living, we have a special, very special technique known as Sudarshan Kriya, given by the great master, His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji. And after 10 days of meditation, he gave this Sudarshan Kriya, which is a rhythmic breathing technique. And when we undergo this rhythmic breathing technique for quite some time in his own voice, then we find that all these levels are in sync, and we find a new self, a new being after going through this process. And it is very, very effective. At NIMHANS also, people have conducted research on Sudarshan Kriya, and they have found that it is more effective than the medicines they prescribe for people in depression. And it has become very popular. So I think we can just go through a video clip done by a great writer, and he has written a book. The name of the book is
Hello, my name is James
Breath,
Nestor. I'm the author
Science,
of the book Breath,
The New Science of the Lost Art.
The Lost Art.
James
This is
Nestor.
an exploration of the new scientific research in breathing, specifically how so many of us have lost the ability to breathe properly and how to get it back. So the impetus for this book was in many ways tied to an experience I'd had practicing Sudarshan Kriya. This was years and years ago when I was suffering from chronic bouts of bronchitis, wheezing, and minor grade pneumonia. I was exercising all the time, I was eating right, I was sleeping well, but I just kept getting sick. I kept having these respiratory problems. So I asked my doctor, and she said, why don't you attend a breathing class? So I found an Art of Living weekend course held a few blocks from my house here in San Francisco, and I attended it. And then several weeks after that, I attended a long Kriya course. I remember walking into this room, sitting in this corner, and the tape started, and I was listening to Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and trying to really focus on every single breath I took. About 10 minutes later, I broke out into this enormous sweat. So there was sweat running down my face, my hair was sopping wet, my t-shirt was wet. The more I breathed, the more the sweat just poured out of me. So afterwards, some people saw me. They said, whoa, are you okay? And I said, no, I'm not okay. I'm better than okay. I feel amazing. I felt completely relaxed, but at the same time, I was bristling with energy. It felt almost like a cork had been popped somewhere inside my body. And I continued to feel this way, focused and energized for days and days afterwards. So I asked my doctor, I said, what had happened to me? And she said, oh, the temperature in the room must have been too high, you're wearing too many clothes, or maybe you had a fever. So none of those things were true, of course. She had no idea what had happened to me, and I didn't know either. But as a science journalist, I've been writing about science for well over a decade, and I began to approach this experience and breathing as a scientific pursuit. And I discovered research that was showing that breathing practices could help heal the body of many chronic maladies. They could also help heat the body up, just as I'd found. I'd even discovered monks who used a specific breathing pattern, a practice called tumo, to keep themselves warm during cold winter nights. And they were later studied by scientists at Harvard. So if breathing could do all these things for us, what else could it do for us? How could it affect our health, our happiness, maybe even our lifespan? These are the questions I had. So eventually I set out on a research journey which lasted several years and took me around the world. I spent 20 days in a Stanford University experiment testing how the pathway through which we breathe, either the mouth or the nose, affects the body and the mind. I traveled to Europe, to ancient burial grounds, and researched with anthropologists who were looking at how the human face and mouth had changed over the past few hundred years of industrialization, and how this shrinking made it harder for us just to get air in and out of our bodies. So sleep apnea, snoring, other respiratory issues like asthma and allergies have all been correlated to these anatomical changes that have occurred in our mouths and in our faces. So I also researched dozens of breathing scientists who over the past century had found some amazing things that breathing alone could be used for. It could be used to help treat asthma, emphysema, hypertension, chronic mental disorders like anxiety, depression, and more. I then conducted an experiment with Sudarshan Kriya at the University of San Francisco Hypoxia Lab, where the researchers took blood draws before and after I practiced long Kriya, and they showed a massive transformation happening in my body. All the while, I was reading through hundreds of books and ancient texts, trying to piece together a history of conscious breathing practices, and found that the origins dated back to the Indus civilization in northern India, more than 5,000 years ago. What I discovered is exactly what the ancients in India, and later in China, Greece, and almost every other major culture had discovered before me. That breathing could be deleterious to our health if we did it improperly, and that it could be a powerful medicine if we focused on it and adopted healthy breathing habits. So no matter what we eat, how much we exercise, or whatever genes we've inherited, none of it really matters if we're not breathing correctly. Along the way, it was inspiring to find that more than 60 independent studies have confirmed the restorative effects of Sudarshan Kriya, and that my experience with this practice wasn't just a fluke, it wasn't just psychosomatic or a placebo effect or whatever. It was real. Breathwork exercises like Kriya, science is clearly showing us, have a profound effect on our long-term health, on our happiness, and likely can help increase lifespan. I call my book The New Science of a Lost Art because so many of these practices have been ignored or simply forgotten over the past few centuries. It's now very inspiring to me that science is now rediscovering and confirming what so much the ancients had said all along. I'm excited to see where all of this breathing research will take us next. In many ways, I have that experience in that chilly room in San Francisco practicing Sudarshan Kriya for setting me off on this wild and wondrous journey to what later became my book. Thank you for listening.
That's all for today. Yeah, I hope that's all for today that we have. We're waiting for some questions.
Sir, we don't have any question actually. We are feeling comfortable.
Okay.
So actually, as you have said, stress management is so important.
Right.
And, meditation and breathing, because we all are getting tired because we are hearing about this corona, and it is making us to get frightened about what will happen to our health. So I think meditation and breathing will help us. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for the session, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions that anyone has, please go ahead and ask.
Huh?
So that's okay then. I think we can.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you so much, sir, on behalf of the
Pleasure.
institute, the department, and the participants. We are really very grateful to you for such a wonderful session. I learned so much today about breathing, about managing stress, and about Sudarshan Kriya as well. So thank you so much, sir and madam.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you. Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you, Sarah, madam.
So we are ending this session. Participants, next session will start at 3 p.m. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.